I'm excited to get to chat with you because you have this new 5 song EP, Artificial Mind, out. Talk about the message behind the title of the EP, please.
Yeah, well, the new EP, yeah, recently just came out, and the title track, "Artificial Mind," is one of our singles. We have a really cool music video for it too that we just put out. Um, but it's basically, our singer Johnny wrote most of the lyrics to that one. So it's tough for me to explain behind, the actual meaning behind it, but it's basically about, how all the AI or artificial intelligence is kind of taking over, and it's an odd time to be living in.
You
The
don't say.
vote.
You don't
All
say.
right, I got it.
Well, that's interesting. Does each of the 5 songs then play into the message of that, or is just Artificial Mind kind of that main concept?
Yeah, it's just the other songs on that are kind of, it's all just different. The message is different on each song.
5 songs on this EP is interesting. Did you guys battle with putting more on, or what made you all feel that 5 was like the perfect number for this particular EP?
Well, we used a different producer for this EP. Brian Wheat was on board with that. He's the co-founding member of Tesla, and the bass player in Tesla. And we had done some extensive touring with Tesla, so I built a relationship with him, and we agreed to write some songs together. And 5 was just the amount of songs we came up with in the allotted time. It was during the COVID lockdown, time, and we flew out to Sacramento, and that's what we came up with. And 5 songs is we were really psyched about those 5, and so we just went with that.
I mean, all of them I think are real bangers as I would describe them. They're all very cool, very intricate themselves. Is there one that you have a particular favorite for, or are they all kind of just like really super good that you can't pick one?
I do enjoy all of them. The last one, 3 of them do have Jeff Keith, the singer from Tesla, singing on, which we're very proud of those. The fact that he would, grace us with his voice on the songs is just super cool. But the song 300 Miles means a lot to me. I've had most of that guitar stuff for a couple of years. So to see it kind of come together and become a song was really cool. So that's one I've had the parts to, myself for a while. So it was just nice to see those get used, and so I like that song a lot.
You mentioned that Brian led to hand when it came to the production side. Do you usually, as a band, tend to have such a hands-on approach to the music you make when it comes to the production side?
Well, before Brian, it was all me doing it, putting my seatbelt on. But so I was the acting producer, and recording engineer and mixing and mastering. I like the studio stuff. I do a lot of that stuff. So the previous Bad Marriage releases, I was steering the wheel, and so to have Brian come on to this, yeah, it was great because it was a new mind, a new creative thinking person, and his skills are he brings a different skill set to the table for Bad Marriage. So it was all around a great thing to have him on board.
I really dig Tear It Down as the lead single for this one as well. What kind of fan response have you been receiving to that song?
you know, we play that one live. We play Artificial Mind live, and we play our song Together live. And all 3, I'm telling you, get a really good response. Tear It Down is a great song live. Again, we have a really cool video that we shot for that. Um, and I think the video came out really well. So we're getting a great response for all of those because we do play them quite often live. And again, we just got off tour. We did 22 shows in just the month of July. So
Oh my
we get a
gosh.
chance. Yeah, yeah, it was it was busy, but it was worth it. We got a lot new fans, and yeah, so the response has been really well, really good.
Well, I love that Tommy joined the band for this tour. How did he jump on lead guitar?
Um, so yeah, Tommy is in the band officially. Um, you know, I met him first on the Monsters of Rock cruise a few years ago. Like I said, we've been doing some extensive touring supporting Tesla, but Tommy, as you probably know, has not been in Tesla for quite some time.
Yes.
So he was, one of the only members that I had not met. So I introduced myself to him on the cruise, the Monsters of Rock cruise, and we just kind of hit it off. We became friends and we exchanged numbers and we had talked almost, well, I would say a couple times a week for about a year. So, by the time he actually came to my house and started rehearsing with Bad Marriage, I felt like I had already known him my whole life.
Oh
So,
my gosh, that must be
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, it was very cool. And the tour went off without a hitch. I mean, he's a professional.
Of
He learned all
course.
of our songs. He learned all of our songs very quickly, and he fit in. He's like one of the boys. So we're excited to have him and everything he brings to the table. Obviously, songwriting, experience, being on the road, being on stage. I mean, he's the real deal. So he adds a lot of value to Bad Marriage.
Well, I know that you guys have just finished up your tour, and obviously Boston must hold a special place in your heart when you're performing live there. Are there any other places that you guys really enjoy performing live?
Yeah, it's there's a lot of them, and there's a lot of cities that we've toured over the past couple of years that have just really, really embraced us and rock and roll in general. There's probably too many to mention, but
Detroit.
once we Detroit is awesome. Trying to think. Even the cities around us that are close to New England, New Hampshire and Maine have always been really cool. New York, New Jersey. There's just so many. Texas has been awesome. We've got to play a bunch of different cities in Texas multiple times, and it's always been pretty killer. So, yeah, we love hitting the road because that's the best way to meet and play in front of new fans.
Sure. Are there some classic Bad Marriage songs that you still enjoy performing live as well?
I really still do enjoy playing most of them. We kind of craft our live set, um, to be pretty hard hitting and pretty relentless. We kind of really want to leave a mark. When you're touring and you don't get a lot of time to play. So if you get a half an hour or 45 minutes, you want to play, the songs
Gotta
that
make
you
it
think will
count.
be correct. Yeah, you want to play the songs that leave the most impact. But I like Gateway Drug. That's a song that we open with a lot. I like our song Bad Blood. I like Who's Ready to Rock. I think they're all pretty powerful and they send a cool message. And they kind of set the tone for the evening.
Well, sure, you've just released this EP, but I've got to ask, is there more music already in the works, or are you guys taking a little bit of a breather since you've just gotten off the road?
No, there's always more. And that's kind of the cool part of me having the studio and being able to record. We don't have to book studio time. We don't have to really pay anybody else because, I can get this stuff done. And, I'm passionate about that. So we have to keep releasing new music. And I think that's key to any up and coming band survival is to keep putting out new and refreshing content. So we have a ton of stuff in the works. And now that we have Tommy in the band, it kind of rejuvenates us even more to write new stuff with him
I'm
involved.
sure.
So, yeah, and a lot of people are excited about that. So we're on it. I mean, I'm picking him up from the airport tomorrow, as we have three local shows around New England. But he's also going to stay for a couple of weeks to get some recording done. So yeah.
All right, back in the booth. No time to rest on your laurels, they say.
That's right. That's right.
Well, what would you like to say then to everyone who are fans and supporters of the incredible music that Bad Marriage still continues to put out year after year?
Well, I mean, obviously we're super grateful and appreciative of the fans that we have. I know it sounds cliche, but without the fans, there really isn't a band. I mean, you keep going when you see that, people are enjoying what you do, when people come up to you and say, hey, I really love this song, or this song means a lot to me because of, for whatever reason, that's when it really hits home and makes you want to keep doing it. So, for that, we have to thank the fans for all of that. But, we want to keep going and meeting new fans and just keep climbing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It makes heading back into the studio right after getting out on a tour that much more worthwhile and that much more important, I'm sure.
Definitely. Yeah.